Hi guys, so today I have some really awesome dies to share with you guys. They were sent by Spellbinders free of charge for my review, and all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. One of the items I'm going to show you is currently sold out on Spellbinders. Of course, it depends on when you're watching, but I'll still use it just so you have an idea of how to put it together. Of course, that's how I put it together. There's lots of different ways to do this, but so I'm going to work on some of these dies that are the Susan's Spring Flora dies, and they are really gorgeous. I was able to pick two of the flower sets. So I have here Sweet Pea, and my samples come like this. You will have a carrier with some information and of course some inspiration on it, so that's always great. A little instruction kind of stuff. Usually it's images, it just depends on how they put it together. But this one is the, like I said, Sweet Pea. It's gonna make a beautiful little flower. This is what comes in the kit here, or the two dies. It says cut one and cut one, right, for each flower basically. I mean, I guess it depends on how many leaves you want to put. Very sweet little flower, easy to work with. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then this is the double and single peonies. Of course, you guys know I was gonna request the peonies. They're so pretty. I love making these kinds of flowers. So let me open this up. I was trying to cut down on the crinkle, and also my phone started ringing, so here we go. So these are the leaves. Really gorgeous. I love the leaf in this set here. And these are basically your stamen or pistil and stamen kind of things, but also you can use this as a calyx if you want to build up your flower on that. However you want to use them, you know, it's up to you. So either way is great. It does say on the die itself to cut two of this 2 times, cut this 3 times, cut this 4 times. It says double and single peony, so you can make a big flower, you can make a smaller flower, something more simple, just make a flower. However you like to work this, of course, is whatever, it's up to you. Today I'll probably keep it kind of simple. I'm not sure exactly what that means or how many layers I'll put, but you can see the outer one has 5 layers. It does say to cut this one 4 times. I don't know if I read that 3 times and 2 times. Again, a big full flower or something more simple, however you would like to work it. They do have some new things to go along with these items there on Spellbinders, and sometimes they have them on scrapbook.com and some other sites, so I'll have whatever links that I can put in there for you. But of course, if you're a club member, any kind of club member on Spellbinders, you get 10% off. Somebody had mentioned to me recently that they have a new shipping policy, and I was looking at that, and you know, it just says basically if you spend below $75, I think it's a flat $5 flat rate shipping, but I think they had that before, so I'm not sure what they were referring to. But always, you can check out their shipping policies way down at the bottom of the page. It'll say, you know, general store policies, and you can read all about whatever you need to read about there. But you get 10% off, obviously, the prices that are reflected once you're on, you know, your site there and logged in and everything. So what I'm going to do is grab some paper. So what I was going to mention before I got tongue-tied here and got carried away with talking about shipping is that for Susan's Spring Flora, or just Susan's Tierney Coburn, which it looks like it's pronounced differently, but I've heard her say her own name, and that's how she said it, is a whole set of basically tool-in-one that has a lot of flower shaping tools that you can slide in there. So it's a gold tool-in-one. This is a very older, loved one that I've had here for a long time. And it has, you know, flower shaping tools. I'm just going to use whatever I have in my stash here for now, but that is something that's available. It comes in a bag, and it has like the foam and everything that you would need to kind of form your flowers. There's some special paper also that she is carrying. It's a kind of a thinner stippled paper. I think I'm going to use more just a lightweight paper, but you can use whatever you like. I am going to try and do the alcoholic marker coloring again, just to try it out again. I did it recently, and it was okay. So I'm just going to go with a little bit darker color and see what we can do. So for now, I'm just going to grab some paper, and we'll get started. I'm just going to use this paper. I've used this before. It's the Smooth Surface Arteza paper. It actually is a marker pad, but it's just kind of thin, nice paper. I like it. So I'm just going to use this and see how that works for us today. And so I'll make one Sweet Pea just so you can kind of see what that would look like. So we do need one of this. And again, I'm just cutting it all on white paper because we're going to color it by hand. So I have this other one. That's for the Sweet Pea. And for... oh, I need to grab another marker if I'm going to color these myself. I didn't think about these center pieces. I might just cut them on colored paper. I think I'm going to cut these out of yellow paper just so that's done. So I'm not going to color these just because they're also thin. So I'm just going to cut this out on some yellow paper. I'm going to cut out my leaves, maybe a couple pairs of that, because it does look really nice when you add a lot of leaves. Let's go for the bigger guy. I'm going to cut 2 or 3 of these. I'll let you know when I come back and see kind of what that feels like, what it looks like. And the mid-size one. And maybe I'll have one of this guy. All right. So I'm going to make kind of a larger flower, but not with all the, layers. So that's what I'll cut, and I will be right back. Lots of stuff just kind of here now. So what I'm going to do real quickly is I'll put these to the side. That's for the peony. I'm just going to put these pieces to the side for now. And we'll look at this little guy, which is our sweet pea. And I'll pop out these other pieces. I'm just going to put down something. Oh, I do want to mention, they have a new paper pad on Spellbinders. I'm picking one up. It's sold out and they brought more back, but it's a huge stack of papers that are like as big as like a cutting surface, like how this is. I used to have something similar to that a long time ago, and I really loved it because it's just big paper pads. So as you're blending and doing whatever it is you want, your little messy projects, you just rip off that page and throw it away, and then you have a brand new page for the next one. I believe it's $7.99 too, so I was like, that's pretty great. So I'm definitely looking to pick one of those up for things like this, because sometimes I don't want to maybe rinse off this mat or however you want to do it, especially with what I'm going to do right now, because I'm going to use my alcohol ink markers and go right onto this. But that paper pad makes it really awesome, and it's even nice to stamp on sometimes too, because it does give a little bit of cushion as you're pushing into it, because it's just paper, a thick pad of paper, Okay, so with sweet peas, obviously you can do whatever you like. I'm just going to take a brush tip alcohol ink marker, whichever one you like to use. I grabbed this because it already has several colors on the one marker. And you know what, maybe I should go with like this mid-green color. I'm just going to hold it. And again, color however you think would be nice. I'm just going up like that. And then I'm going to use the light green. And that just gives it some coloration. Do you want to use both sides? Go for it. Maybe on this side I just do the light color because the other color's seeping through already. And then for this little guy, I'm going to make him like purple, and I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Just like in the center here. So I'm going to go again with that mid color because the deep purple is really deep. And just starting from the center area, actually, let's go this way. And I'll just brush them out that way. I'll make it look a little nicer in a minute. There we go. Just getting some color down at the beginning here. And this part I want really nice and dark. And then this one is going to curve around, so it depends how when you're looking at it, do you want it to curve around like this? This is the rough cut side. Do you want it to curve around like this? And the rough cut side's kind of however you want to do it. Again, I'm just going to add a little something, and then I'll go in with the lighter color. And with the sweet pea, I'm going to keep the color kind of down here. I don't really need to bring it all the way to the edge. Same thing here. Okay, so I'll color the rest of the little leaves, and I will be right back. Again, you can turn it over. I'm just going to go with the light since this paper really absorbs the color. I can just do that, and it's okay. All right, I'll be right back. This is a newer tool and one that I had picked up recently that had the whole kit that they have there on Spellbinders. So I'm going to switch this one out real quick. Oop. Not that way. Let's go this other way. All right. So hopefully, and this is the other thing, when you're switching them out, I'm just going to switch out to the ball tools that I have. But these are different from the ones that are in Susan's pack. But see these little ridges? You want to line that up with the little ball bearing that you see out there. Otherwise, it's not going to go in correctly, and you're not going to be too happy because it's just not going to work. So there's that. And maybe a little bit better. Okay. And on this side, same thing. I'm just going to pull this down and release the brayer that I have on there. And add this in. And I can put this on my older tool too. I just didn't. I just chose to put them on here. But that's that. Let me put these things to the side. And I'm going to grab a little foam piece that I already have. But if you don't have the kit yet, or if you're thinking about starting out, packaging, sometimes packaging comes with like some kind of foam, stuff like that. Whatever it is that you like to use, go for it. So for my little leaves, you can leave them just like this, but if you want to give them some texture, I would just kind of come in here and just give them a little texture. I'm just kind of messing with it. I'm kind of going like in a leaf shape, you know what I'm saying? Kind of straight down center and then doing some more, but you can do whatever you like. And that's just to give him a little bit of shape. I'll do the other one too. For this guy, I'm going to turn it over. Oh, there's a lot going on here. Let me... I'm going to turn him over, and I'm going to push this part so that it wants to... Sorry about that. I still have my phone. My kids are on spring break this week, and I haven't turned on the alarms. So I'm curving it. So can you see how it's curved out now? It's very, not round, but very bulbous, right? That little... And then this side, same thing. You can start in the center and go out. However you want to do this. Do you want to wet these before you use them? That's always a nice look. You guys know I'm a fan of that. And then this guy. Again, this guy's going to curve around here. So I'm just going to maybe use the smaller side. And as you practice, like I don't have all the correct tools right now, but I'm still going to hopefully make a pretty flower. You will get used to kind of what you want to do. Develop your own style. So basically these are going to curve in here. So hopefully you see this little part. This is going to go into here. Like that. And that's basically one of our little sweet peas. Now I'm going to glue that down. We do have a calyx or a base that you want to possibly use. You know, let me just get some glue on here. We'll work with this and then we'll work with that. So I'm just putting a little dab of glue on the back of that so I can get this guy in here. And then you can obviously restyle it once you get your glue down. You just want to get that glue in there. And then you can play with your little flower. Get this up in here. There we go. There we go. And I'm just going to try to hold that. Also, you can use your tools. You don't have to use your hands. It makes it easier to kind of manipulate and get in there. Okay, I'm going to let that stay for a minute before I move on. I think it's set up a little bit more. Again, we have this little guy. It's going to be kind of stuck behind, buried a little bit, but I'll still try to use it. Put that. And then just pop him in here. Like I said, for me, this one's just a little bit extra. It's just back there. It'll be cute. And then we'll have our leaves. So I'm going to put those to the side. I'm going to get all my pieces ready for the peony, and we'll color those in. Should be no surprise. I'm going to use a coral blend color on these guys. So I did cut 3 of the larger. And we're just going to layer them up, however. Just real organic and pretty. So I have 3 of the larger one. I think I have, oops, sorry. 2 of the mid-size one. And let's do 2 of the one that's right after that. Okay, so I have plenty, well, what have we got? 9 pieces. And then I'll color the leaves exactly like you just saw what I did earlier, just with the dark green and then come in with the light green, and that'll be our leaves, okay? But for this guy, I'll just start with the larger one, and I'll do the exact same thing for the smaller ones. This one's gonna be a little deep color, so I'm gonna use the mid-tone coral color. And again, as high up as you want to blend this. I'm just doing flicks. And this is the mid-tone. So whatever you want to use. And I'm going to start with the center too and go out, but you can start at the edge and come in, but it's just easier to hold this and go outward. So with this, I'm going to go to the very edges. And since, like I said, this paper really just wants to suck up the color, I'm just on the back side only going to do the light color. Look how pretty. Actually, the back looks cooler even. And on this side, I'm just going to use this, okay? And I'll do that with all the petals, and I'll be right back. All right. So pretty. You know, I'll slice it in later. This is my Freeform Friday video, so you guys know I like to sometimes form flowers or do some pretty things with flowers on Freeform Friday, so I think I forgot to mention that. But here we are. It's okay. Let me back up a little bit. And this one's super easy. You know, I've seen Becca Feekin, when she does her flowers, sometimes she'll take these and put them in like literally a teaspoon or like a tablespoon, like measuring spoons basically, and molds them into the spoon. So you can imagine little spoons here, you know, and she goes like this. It just takes the shape of that little cup and it does some crinkling. It looks really pretty. But for right now, I'm just going to use, again, the same ball tools I have. I have some larger ones, but I just figure let's try something like this. And I'm just going to go up the sides. Of course, you still want to be careful. You don't want to hurt your petals. But, you know, Just give them some shape, do something a little fun. And I'm doing it on the side, obviously, that we colored on. I did want to show you, like, it looks so soft and gentle from the backside. So maybe next time I should color the backside so that little gentleness shows up on the front. But you know, that's part of Fun Form Friday. We're just trying it and learning, and we'll do what we can. So I'm gonna do that basically with all the petals. Just come in here and kind of round them out. I think I've shown you before to do this with the end of a pen. Like if you have a pen or a cap that's rounded, you can definitely try that out too. But so I'm just gonna go in here and just give them some shape, do something fun. You can also squeeze them down the center when you're done. It'll cup them a little bit more. So for some of these, we all are gonna want them to be more cupped than others because we're building it in, right? You can just press down. So I will be right back. I'm gonna do this with all of them. And I can add a little texture to my leaves. Maybe I'll do that too. But for now, I'm just gonna put this to the side. And then we have these guys. So again, this could be the base of your flower if you want to use it as a calyx base. You can use it for centers. You know, you can just do this guy, the little rolled area. You can cut into these to make it look even more frilly, however that you want to use this. Actually, I'm going to shape these a little bit though. All we're going to do with this one is just kind of crinkle it down the center, just so that they go into each other a little easier. And I'll switch out my tool-in-one for the quilling tool, but I'll do that in just a second, okay? So the other thing I would like to do is have some of this little pollen here, and they do carry this stuff on Spellbinders site too. I am going to put it on a surface. Oh, right here. Just a little pile. You literally don't need much more than just that. Let me see if I can get in the camera there. Just a little tiny bit. And let me see here. I'm just gonna take a tweezer so I can hold this. And I'm gonna take a little bit of the glue. And this is extra. You don't have to do this, of course, but do whatever you like for your flowers. I'm gonna put a little dot, dot, dot on each little tip here. And I'm gonna dip it into this yellow stuff. And I'll do the same for the other one, and I will be right back. So I switched off the quilling tool for this guy, and you can just start twirling it. You know, I like to put glue sometimes. I don't really want to get it on my tool though, so I'll put the little glue just like here. So by the time it gets there, now I have glue on there holding it closed. And I'll pop that off. And the same thing, you know, we're gonna frill it out a little bit. I'm just gonna put a little glue wherever it'll land on here and dip it in that little powdery stuff too, just so that it has a little bit of extra something on it. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I have those pieces waiting. They're just drying a little bit. And this is the larger one that I have, so I'm just gonna start putting glue. You wanna use hot glue, get it done, you know, a little quicker, however you wanna work. I'm gonna take the next biggest one, the same size. I have 3 large ones. And I curled them up a little bit more. And you want to offset the petals so that some go this way and some go that way. It just looks more natural and fuller that way. So I'm just trying to see what's going on here, where I can place one and the other. Maybe like that. And then the next one. And of course, this is just how I'm doing it. You can do however you like. Trying to see what petals are going where. So some of the petals, they're different sizes. There's 2 or 3 that are kind of a larger size, and there's a couple that are kind of smaller. So you can kind of see where you're putting them just so you have a nice full flower. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to the next size down. I have 2 of those. So I'm just gonna bring this in here and really make sure we offset these guys. Okay, and I'll just keep layering them in. Look how pretty that looks already. Again, the next one. Just a little dab of glue will do ya. And I'm using this to help me lay them in there, but you don't have to actually use a tweezer either. These aren't small pieces, but it's just nice to move around with. Got these guys hooked into each other. Just want to make sure they're offset before I really stick them down. That's pretty good. then the last two, which are not the smallest ones, they're the second to the smallest, but that's just what I chose. So I'll put this guy there. And this little guy here. You know what, actually, before I put that down, I'll do it out here, just to make this one easier. I'm gonna open that up. Bring over one of my centers, which again can be a calyx, however you want to use it. This guy. If you want to put it all together, then do this guy. You know, be my guest. I'm just doing this before I get the other piece in. Oh, come on, buddy. I'm gonna let these two dry before I bring in this little guy. All right, that last one that we rolled. So I'm gonna just sit here and keep this together, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna take this piece before I put that center piece in, just so that I can just pop that in at the end, and I think that'll be good. I'm just gonna push this in here as far as I can. Have my tool help me get that seated. I'm gonna hold on to this for a minute, and then I'm gonna bring in that little last center piece. So this looks really pretty. Now, do you want to squeeze it like this? Do you want to roll some of the edges out? Let me grab one of the other tools I like to use, which is basically a needle nose plier, because this is actually a jewelry plier, but it's rounded. So if you use something to do this and the thing is more squared off, it's not gonna look as gentle, but you can still definitely use something that's more squared off. If you want to pull some of these out like this, you know, just organically, that's a pretty look. So I'll probably go around and do that to some of these guys. And then I'll add in that little center piece, okay? I'll be right back. I did what I want to do there. And I'm just gonna pop another little bead of glue in here. And I'm gonna hold this little guy right down in there. And I'm gonna hold it for a little bit, just to make sure it sets up how I want. So I'll hold it here with my finger for just a little bit, and then I'll be ready to put this on a card base. Okay guys, so I did grab a card base from the card kit for this month for April 2021, just you know, the basic card that's in there. I'm going to use some of this pale pink color, I think, from the kit. I might add some of these, we'll see, a little sequins. I picked out the word lovely from the die cuts, which I think is going to be really nice. And then I grabbed this Flora Reflections cut and emboss folder, which I think is going to be really pretty, just for a soft background, and then this will pop right on top. So I'm just going to open this up. I'm going to cut my paper down. I believe this is an A2 size. So I will cut my paper down to 4 by 5 1/4, just so it mats in here a little nicely, a little like just smaller. And I'll be right back. Okay. And this paper is the same on both sides, but if there's a certain side that you want facing up, just make sure that that's facing up. And, yeah, however you want to figure that one out. It looks like, what's interesting is that the pieces that push in, that cut the little holes, the little apertures here, is at the top. So you want that pushed down in there, your paper's going to be facing up. And I just kind of arranged that, but for now we'll remove that. I think that'll be cute. And I think I might have misspoke earlier. This is 4 by 5 1/4. I think I said 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. I'm not quite sure though. But I'm gonna stick this down. If you want to put some dimensional adhesive on the back of this, that'd be really nice too. So it's kind of popped up. But for now, I'm going to just glue it down, and I will be right back. Okay, so I was kind of playing with this, and I think I want it like this. So I'm going to just add a little glue here, just to hold that guy down. And I'll put a little glue on the back of this and pop it in there, actually on the top and the bottom. Just so that for sure it's touching the card base. And in case the flower touches it, it'll have glue on both sides. And the bottom and the top there again. And this guy. And a little sweet pea, of course, with that kind of thing, you would probably want to make several of them, because I don't know if you've seen those kind of flowers. There's a lot of little flowers here and there. I'll probably keep adjusting that. And I just had the word lovely just tucked in there. I think that's nice. You know, you can tuck it in wherever you like. I'll probably just glue it right down here. And yeah, our little sweet pea is so cute. But again, you want several of them. Put all your little leaves in there, wherever it is that you want to put them. Cute little flower. All right, guys, so I hope you liked today's Freeform Friday. Thanks for watching. I'll have the links in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.